Black Doug 294 once again. Back with part 3 on the old 959 project. So, typical of me to start working on a project for myself and end up just adding more and more and more to it. Like, I started out, I got this thing at such a cheap price, it didn't work when I got it. And then I repaired it, and I thought, well, I'm just going to do the clarifier and the channels and put it back on the air, because apparently it's just destined for me to have one of these in my collection. Because, I mean, you go back about 3 weeks or so ago, I sold my personal 959 that had been in my collection for a long time, and then it was like 2 weeks following me selling it, this one came up. I come across it and got it for really cheap where it wasn't working. It was stuck on 29 megahertz, which was weird. It ended up just being multiple bad solder joints, and the radio was perfectly fine. It also was missing the main limiter Q39. I put that back in, and then from that point I started videoing it because I did the channels and all that. So anyway, after I unlocked the clarifier and did the 10K mod and was kind of going through some of the synthesizer alignment to get this thing close enough for now, I realized that the clarifier control was really sloppy in the middle. And I actually got it right here. This is the one that came out of it. It's super sloppy. And it was actually causing the radio to jump frequency a little bit. So I have a parts 949 over here. I think I said something about it in the last video. So I robbed the clarifier out of it because it's like brand new. It's super tight and feels really good and sturdy and all that. But in the process of finding this part, I located a brand new Ranger Echo board, and I was like, ooh, that'd be fun to throw in this thing. So I didn't want to put it out the side because it's a longer dual pot control. So what I ended up doing is I took this board out, split it with the Dremel tool, got the clarifier over here, put the Echo out the front where the Talkback used to go, and I've actually relocated the Talkback over here. So that's the factory push control, push on off, and variable Talkback. And to get it to fit right there, I had to actually, these wires are typically on a plug that plugs into the bottom of the board down here. I had to actually remove that plug and solder these directly to the board to get this to fit. And then I heat shrunk around the control itself. I also had to solder the Talkback wires directly to the control, because normally they would be plugged into this PC board that used to go all the way across here. And you know, it's just part of the fun of the project. Obviously, if somebody was going to get a Galaxy 959 and send it to a shop and pay somebody to do this kind of work, well, at that point, money-wise, they might as well just got them an export radio that already had the channels and already had Echo and did more power, etc. But I do this for the fun of the project. I just enjoy modifying these CB radios and stuff for fun. Again, I'm no expert technician or nothing. I don't claim to be. I'm extremely limited in my knowledge and my test equipment. But anyways, I just wanted to bring you up to speed on that, and I'll actually show you something else. So you can see there's the control out the side, and of course that's the 10K mod. I actually put the Echo board over here and I flipped it face up so I could access this gain control right here if I need to. And of course the wiring's still a spaghetti mess because I'm not done. I still got to do the meter lighting, put the new meter in it, go through the final alignment once this thing's good and warmed up. And when I get it put back together, as far as attaching the front back, of course I'll go through and tidy up all the wiring. But for now it's a mess, and that's just the way it's got to be. Something else I did was upgraded a couple of capacitors. I put a 46 or a 4700 microfarad there on the main DC in, and then a 2200 on the voltage regulator buffer capacitor. And then I started looking, I looked at every cap in this thing, and there was one 10-volt cap over here in the PLL circuit, so I replaced it with a 16-volt cap. It's just a good idea to change any 10-volt cap and upgrade it. And honestly, upgrading these couple of caps, it does actually help the radio. It really actually does, but I mean, is it worth paying somebody, you know, whatever a shop would charge, $30 to $50 probably for cap upgrades to do this? No, because it's $1 worth of parts and it takes 5 minutes to do. So if it's something you can do yourself, it's definitely worth doing. Because it does help with voltage drop and stuff like that. And if you're running this radio on sideband, you know, it puts a little bit more of a strain on it, and having a little extra buffer does help. I also upgraded the power wires. These are 16 gauge pure copper. See if you can see that. The camera always ends up right in the dang, you know, causing a shadow. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to have to try to get a stand if I'm going to keep making these videos. But yeah, I put 16 gauge power wire on it with a new ferrite here on the hot. And you know, it's not much, but every little thing does help. And voltage drop is something that's important if you can eliminate it. And also having a better power cord. Like that's a 12 gauge that I soldered to the pins in here of this Workman plug. That is pure copper, real 12 gauge. And just everything like that makes a difference. It just helps the radio run efficiently. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else silly I've done. Oh yeah, I did actually. So this little VR right here, I modified the Roger beep circuit, because I was originally planning on using the Roger beep to do the plus 10K until I realized that I had to have plus and minus to get all the A channels. So then I said, well, if I'm going to keep a Roger beep, I'm going to set it up the way I like. So in here, see if I can show it. Right here, this green and yellow wire comes to this plug. This capacitor right here, let me see what cap that is. I can't see the number. C139 or 159 is factory. It's a 2.2 microfarad. So if you drop the value down, the Roger beep gets shorter, and if you raise the value up, the Roger beep gets longer. So I put a 1 microfarad in here, and it's like the perfect length. It's essentially half as short as the factory beep. And then R194 usually is where these two white wires are, but I actually put a 2 meg variable in here so you can change the tone. So right now I've got it set to where it sounds like an old HR 2510 or something, but you can also crank that thing down and get a deeper tone out of it. Matter of fact, while I'm sitting here, I might as well go ahead and demonstrate it. Wasn't really planning on doing it, but it don't really matter. Flip the power supply on, flip the old 2995 on. Try to demonstrate this variable. So let me get my little tweaker here. Or my bigger tweaker. Here we go. So right now, I'm just going to so I don't make anybody motion sick, I'm trying to be more aware of that. So right now, I believe the beep is off. Hello, 1 2 1 2 1 2. Check check check. Yep, you can hear the echo in there. Audio check check check. 1 2 3 4. Now let's turn the beep on. You hear how much shorter it is? And now I'm just going to turn the tone a little bit at a time. Here's all the way down. That's about as high as you can go with it. And I'll show you what I'm doing here. I don't know what the stock value is on a fixed resistor, but I just kind of secured it there, and of course the leads are heat shrinking, so I just turned it down. See, that's not too annoying of a beep because it's shorter and it's a little deeper. And you know, honestly, what I thought about doing, but I don't have any trimmers, so that's too high. You can turn it up to too high pitch and it won't sound. That's about as high pitch as you can make it. My original plan, if I had some trimmers laying around, was I was actually going to make a small little circuit board and vary the capacitance and the resistance so you could turn the length up and down. But I don't like a long Roger beep, and I'd never run one. That right there is not too annoying. Like if somebody's talking to me and they had a beep like that short, that's not annoying at all. So I figured I'd leave it variable. Okay, that's not too bad either, but just something cool. You can sorry, I've been up all night and I'm having a hard time talking. I'm a night shifter and it's time for me to go to sleep. But you can alter or vary the value of R194. It's right down in there where them two white wires go, and change the tone of your Roger beep. Something kind of cool to do. And then, like I said, C158 or 153, C153, the blue cap right there in front of that plug, is your time. Audio check check, 1 2 3, audio. So it's sounding pretty good. We ain't went through the alignment or anything yet. We're still modifying this baby, so but that's the current status. That's the latest update. Cap upgrades, Roger beep mods, echo added, talkback control moved. You can see how tight that is, but it's not affecting anything. I just put some heat shrink around it, and it just butts right up against that next little plug there, but everything's working good. So we're gonna do the meter lights whenever they come in. The LEDs, not all the ones I've wanted to try have come in yet. I'm going to try to find some that'll really fill the meter up good and not be so focused in one spot. And that's hard to do because this board, you can't get the distance back from the meter to make an LED really look good. But anyway, we got the meter light, and the alignment. About all that I can think of left to do on this. So hopefully we'll get her done soon. Hopefully the LEDs come in and we can knock this thing out by the weekend. Well, it is the weekend technically for me because I'm off till Monday night. But anyways, appreciate everybody following along, and everybody who's new subscribed on account of this here little silly video series I'm doing on this radio. I appreciate it. And if anybody has any questions or has any advice that knows a lot more than me, then please feel free to share your knowledge. They call me Black Duck, UDX 294. I'm somewhere around northeast Tennessee, and we'll be back out.